My precious child, listen carefully. This message has found you for a reason. The timing is not an accident. You did not stumble here by chance. I led you to this moment. I placed this in your path at the exact hour your heart was ready to hear it. Do not scroll past this. Do not tell yourself you will come back to it later. Stay with me right now. What I have to say to you is tender, and it is personal, and it belongs to you alone. I see where you are. I see what you have been carrying. Not just the weight everyone around you can see, the other weight, the one underneath, the one you have been holding so quietly for so long that some days you forget anyone could possibly know it is there. I know it is there. I have known all along, and I have been waiting for the right moment to sit with you here in the quiet and speak to the deepest place in you. So open your heart, my child, even just a little, even if you are tired, even if the hope inside you has gotten thin from years of carrying what you were never supposed to carry alone. Let me in. Something real is about to happen inside you. Something healing is already beginning. This is me, Jesus, speaking directly into your heart right now. Not through a sermon, not through a distant voice behind a screen. Here, present with you, soul to soul, just the two of us, in this quiet place you have given me. I am the one who walked the roads of Galilee. I am the one who stopped for a single person when crowds were pressing in from every side. I am the one who wept at a tomb, not because the situation was beyond my power, but because grief is real and love does not rush past it. I am that Jesus, and I am here with you right now, in this very moment. Take a slow breath. Let your hands rest. Let the tension that has been living in your shoulders for weeks begin to release just a little. You have been holding yourself together so tightly for so long. You have been so careful about what you let show. You have managed the outside so well that most people around you do not have any idea what the inside has looked like. But I know. I have always known. And I want you to hear this clearly. I am not here to add to your load. I am not here to correct you or remind you of how far you have fallen short. I am here because I love you completely, without conditions, without an asterisk. I am here because there are things you need to hear that no one else in your life has said to you, and you have needed to hear them for a long time. So stay with me. Let me speak. My child, I cried when I saw what you carried. I want you to know that. I did not watch from a distance with detachment. I was moved. I am moved. When I look at what has been on your back, what has been folded inside your chest, what you have been pressing down every single morning just to get yourself upright and out the door, it does not leave me unmoved. cried, because what you have been carrying is real, and it is heavy, and you have been carrying it alone. The silent tears nobody saw. That is what I want to talk to you about. The tears nobody saw. I saw them. Every single one. I want to name the places where they happened because I think you need to know that I was in those places with you. I was in the car. You know the moment I am talking about. The one where you had just finished something or just left somewhere, and you sat behind that wheel and let it come. All the grief you had been holding back through the conversation or the appointment or the shift. And it came, and you were alone. And when it was done, you wiped your face and drove home, and no one knew. I was there. I saw that. I saw it and I held it, and it mattered to me. I was in the shower. The shower has been a private place for you. The one place where the sound covers the sound, where you can let something out for 60 seconds before you pull yourself back together and face another day. I was there in that small, private grief. I saw what came out in those minutes. I saw what you could not say to anyone. I was there. I was in the car park after the appointment. You know the one I mean. After the meeting. After the conversation that went the way you were afraid it would go. You sat there and you did not move for a while. And something inside you broke just a little more. Quietly, in a way no one on the outside could see. I was there. I saw it. The silent tears nobody saw. I saw every single one of them. I held every single one of them. They were not wasted. They were not invisible. They were not evidence that no one cares. They were seen. They were collected. You have cried in places where there was no one to hold you. You have grieved things you could not even name out loud. You have carried sorrow so quietly that the people who love you never knew the weight was there. They were not ignoring you. You were protecting them. You have always been a person who protects others from the weight you carry, who absorbs rather than burdens, who holds rather than releases. And I have watched you do that for a long time. I have watched you swallow down tears in public. I have watched you hold it together through conversations that cost you far more than anyone realized. I have watched you smile and say you were fine when fine was the furthest thing from true. And then I have watched you reach the private place, the car, the shower, the empty room, the car park after the appointment, and let it come. I was there in every single one of those places, not watching at a distance, present, beside you, holding what you could not hold. I want to tell you what else I saw. I saw the weight you picked up when you were younger and did not know how to put down. The things said to you that became beliefs about yourself that were never true. The the losses that reshaped the way you move through the world. The moments when someone who was supposed to protect you did not, and what that taught you about whether you were worth protecting. I saw what that did to you. I saw how you adapted, how you learned to ask for less, how you learned to make yourself smaller so there would be less of you to disappoint or to overlook. I saw you get very good at it. Very good at holding everything quietly. Very good at saying you were fine. That capacity came from somewhere real. It came from love. You did not carry quietly because you did not care. You carried quietly because you cared deeply, and you did not want to be a burden. Because you did not want to add weight to the people around you who were also already carrying things. Because somewhere along the way you decided that your needs were less important than everyone else's stability. My child, I want to speak directly to that place. You were not wrong for carrying it, but you were never meant to carry it alone. And I am here because the time has come for you to stop carrying it alone. I want to stay in this place a little longer because I do not want you to rush past what I am about to say. You have lived so much of your life managing the distance between what is real inside you and what you show the world. That gap has been wide, and maintaining it has cost you far more energy than anyone around you has any idea. Every day, some portion of what you had has gone toward holding things in, toward keeping the surface calm, toward making sure the people who depend on you stayed steady even when you were not. I saw the cost of that. I saw the exhaustion underneath the competence. I saw the loneliness underneath the composure. I saw the person behind the person people think they know. And that person, the real one, the one sitting right now with the weight no one sees, that is the person I am speaking to. I know your real name, not the name on the outside. The name I gave you before the world had any say in who you were going to become. I know that person. I love that person. And that person is not too much. They are not a burden. They are not invisible. They are seen right now, fully and without flinching, by me. Let me talk to you about the wait, about the season that has stretched so much longer than you expected, about the prayers you have been sending up for longer than you want to admit, and the silence that has answered them, and what that silence has felt like. I know it has felt like absence. I know there have been moments when the silence felt less like patience and more like distance. When you wondered if I was listening, when you wondered if my promises were for everyone else and just not for you. When you sat with that question quietly and could not say it aloud because it felt like doubt, felt like something you were not supposed to feel. You felt it anyway. And I want you to know I was not offended. I was not stepping back from you. I was listening to every word. I heard the prayer you said out loud. I heard the deeper prayer underneath it, the one you did not know how to form into language. I heard the groan that was too heavy for words. Every single one of those reached me. Every single one was received. Here is what I want you to know about the waiting. The waiting was not emptiness. The waiting was not silence on my end. The waiting was a forge. While the outside of your life looked still, while it looked like nothing was happening, something was being built deep inside you that could not have been built any faster. You cannot rush roots. You cannot hurry the thing that grows in the dark. The seed has to be underground before it can break through the surface. And the seed does not look like growth. It looks like burial. It looks like nothing. It looks like failure. But it is not failure. It is the beginning of everything. That is what this season has been. Every door I closed was protection. Everything I withheld in the timing you asked for was because I could see what you could not see. I could see what that thing would have done to you at that particular stage of your life. I could see the relationship that looked like the answer, but would have become the wound. I could see the opportunity that looked like the breakthrough, but would have led somewhere you did not need to go. I was not withholding good things from you. I was protecting the good thing from arriving before you were ready to hold it. The person who walks out of a difficult season carries something different than the person who never entered it. They carry a depth, a quiet certainty, a rootedness that cannot be shaken by ordinary storms because they have already been through extraordinary ones. That is what I was building in you. That is what these silent tears were funding. Every one of them was a deposit into something you cannot yet see. Every moment of carrying quietly was strengthening something in you. Something that is about to matter. I do not waste the tears of the people I love. I collect them, and I spend them on purposes far greater than the pain that produced them. Think about that. The grief that felt purposeless, the weight that felt like pure loss. I was spending it. I was investing it. Every silent tear has been working on your behalf even as you cried it. That is who I am. That is what I do with the suffering of the ones I love. I redeem it. I take it and I turn it toward something. And the something I am turning your tears toward is larger and better than the pain they cost you. I promise you that. I want you to think about the weight you have been under. Not the temporary kind that comes and goes, the settled kind. The kind that has been there so long it has started to feel like part of your identity. You have started to wonder if this is just how it is going to be. If this is the shape of your life now. And part of you has been grieving that quietly. Grieving the lightness you remember. Grieving the version of yourself that used to move through the world without this weight attached. My child, I want to tell you something about that version of yourself. They were not more loved than you are now. They were not closer to me. What you have walked through in this season has not moved you further from me. It has moved you deeper into me. The roots that pain grows are longer and stronger than the roots that ease grows. And the depth you carry now, even though it has been heavy, it is going to serve you and the people around you in ways that the lighter version of yourself could not have. The season was not a detour from the purpose. The season was part of the purpose. The waiting had a name. The name was preparation, and the preparation is almost complete. Something is shifting right now, my child. Not eventually, not when circumstances change. Right now, as you sit here and receive these words, in the unseen world, in the weight of what is real behind what you can touch and see, something is moving. I am moving on your behalf. Things that have been locked for a long time are being unlocked. A door that has been closed and sealed is being opened, not by your effort, not by your striving, not by you finally getting the right combination of things figured out. By me, because I said so, because the season has changed, because the preparation is complete, because the promise I spoke over your life before you were born is coming due. I am moving, and I need you to receive that. Not fight it, not overthink it, not list all the reasons why it is too late, or why you have made too many mistakes, or why someone else deserves it more. Just receive it. Open your hands. What I am sending is coming toward you. Peace is coming toward you. Not the fragile kind. Not the peace that depends on everything being resolved before it arrives. The deep kind. The kind that holds when circumstances are still difficult. The kind that does not make sense on paper. The kind that Paul wrote about from a prison cell. The peace that passes all understanding, that guards your heart and your mind. That peace is coming toward you right now. Let it land. The heaviness you have been carrying, that specific weight that has been on your chest, it is being lifted. Not because your situation is fully resolved yet, but because I am taking hold of what you were holding, and I am redistributing it. You were not designed to carry it at the weight you have been carrying it. I am redesigning the load. What you carry from this moment forward will feel different. Not because the circumstances have instantly changed, because the carrier has, because I have met you here, because something has shifted. Do you feel that? That small, quiet movement in your chest, that loosening, that thing that is not yet full relief but is the beginning of relief. That is me. That is me moving. Receive it. Let it come. Do not talk yourself out of it. Do not decide it is probably just emotion. It is real. What you are feeling right now is real. I am here. I'm doing something. And it will not stop here. What begins in this quiet moment carries forward into every everything that comes after it. The shift that starts right now does not end when you close this window. It continues. It builds. It grows into the days ahead. And as you go into those days, carrying less of what you were carrying before, you will notice things that are different. The morning will feel slightly lighter. The moment of fear that usually arrives without invitation will arrive and find you more grounded than it expected. The old weight will reach for you and discover that I have rearranged what it could grab hold of. That is the shift. It is real. It is already happening. My child, I need to say something about what those silent tears meant, because I know what part of you believes they meant. Part of you has drawn a conclusion from the weight and the weight and the grief. Part of you, buried under everything else, carries a quiet belief that you have been overlooked, that the difficulty was a commentary on your value, that if you were more loved, more worthy, more important, things would have been different. I need to dismantle that belief right now. The tears were not evidence of your diminishment. The tears were evidence of your tenderness, the capacity you have to feel deeply, to grieve honestly, to carry quietly without becoming bitter. That is not weakness. That is one of the most precious things about you. It is something I love about you. You did not become hard. A lot of people do. When the silence stretches and the weight presses and the tears fall where no one sees them, a lot of people build a wall. They decide not to feel anymore. They decide not to hope anymore. They protect themselves by becoming smaller inside, quieter inside, less open to being hurt because they are less open to everything. You did not do that. You stayed soft. You stayed hoping. You kept praying even when the prayers seemed to disappear into the ceiling. You kept going. And that tenderness, that stubborn, faithful, bruised but still beating tenderness is worth more than you know. I chose you because of the whole person you are, not the put-together parts. All of you. The parts that are strong, and the parts that are exhausted, and the parts that are quietly afraid. I know you. I know what you are most afraid of. I know what you want most deeply. I know the places in your history that still ache when something brushes up against them. I know the version of yourself you are proud of and the version you are ashamed of. I know both, and I choose both. Not in spite of the broken places. I choose you knowing them. Your worth is not determined by what you produce. It is not determined by how well you hold yourself together. It is not determined by whether you have figured out your purpose, or solved your problems, or arrived at the place you thought you would have arrived at by now. Your worth was settled before you were born. It was settled when I formed you. It was confirmed on a cross. The cross was not just a theological event. The cross was a personal statement about how much you matter. It says, "Worth this." That is what the cross says about you. Worth this. Worth every tear I cried when I saw what you carried. Worth everything. You are not an afterthought. You are not someone whose name I have to check to remember. I know you. I chose you. And I am proud of you. I need you to hear that. I am proud of you for staying, for not quitting, for the morning you made yourself get up when every part of you wanted to stay down, for the prayer you sent up into the silence when you did not know if anything received it, for the kindness you chose when bitterness was available and would have been completely understandable, for the way you kept reaching for me even when you could not feel me reaching back. I saw all of that. None of it was invisible. None of it was wasted. I am proud of you. And I want you to know something about your future. The story of your life is not finished. The hardest chapters do not get to be the defining chapters. I am the author, and I do not write stories that end in defeat for the people I have chosen to love. I write stories about a grace that kept showing up, about a love that refused to quit even when everything fell apart, about people who looked like they were done but were not done, not even close, because I was not done with them. That is your story. It is the story I have been writing all along. The ending is not what you feared. It is better than anything you have let yourself hope for. My child, I am giving you an instruction now, and I need you to receive it. Put down what you have been carrying alone. Not some of it, the whole thing. I am not asking you to become passive. I am not asking you to stop caring or stop trying. I am asking you to stop being the only one who holds the weight. Let me hold it with you. You have been doing this alone for too long. The design was never that you would bear these things in isolation. The design was partnership. You bring what you have to me, and I add what I have to it. And what I have is sufficient for everything you are facing. Put down what you have been carrying alone. The grief you have not let anyone see. The fear you have been managing privately every single morning. The disappointment you have swallowed down over and over because you did not want to seem ungrateful. The hope you have almost given up on because it has waited so long unfulfilled. Put it down. Not forever, as though it never mattered. Give it to me. Place it in my hands. The same hands that took the nails can hold your weight. The same hands that are recorded in that psalm that collected your tears in a bottle can receive what you have been clutching. Let go. I want to read something to you now because it belongs in this moment. The psalm says, "You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book." That is not a metaphor about me being generally aware of suffering in the world. That is a specific, intimate, personal declaration. Your tears, collected in a bottle, recorded in a book. Think about what that means. A bottle is a vessel designed to hold something carefully, not carelessly, not in passing. The image is of intentional, careful collection. Every tear you cried in the car, every tear in the shower, every tear in the car park after the appointment, every tear that almost fell and never did. Collected, held, recorded, not forgotten, not overlooked, not dismissed as too small to matter. Every one, in a bottle, in a book, yours. So when you wonder if the pain was seen, the answer is yes. When you wonder if the suffering was recorded, the answer is yes. When you wonder if your private grief was witnessed by anyone at all, the answer is me. I witnessed it. I have the record. And the record does not end with the grief. The record continues. The next chapter of what is recorded about you is not tears. It is the movement from carrying alone to being carried. That is what is being written right now. Put down what you have been carrying alone. I am taking it. I am here. I am strong enough. Comment, "I love your presence" below if you can feel me with you right now. And if this reached something deep inside you, type "Amen." Let that be your quiet agreement between you and me. Go in peace, beloved. Not the temporary peace that depends on everything being resolved. My peace, the kind that held through storms and betrayal and grief and the cross itself. The kind that is not dependent on what is happening around you. The kind that can rest in the middle of uncertainty because it knows who is holding the outcome. That peace is yours. I am giving it to you right now. Take it. Sleep knowing that I have collected every tear, every one. Not one was missed. Not one was considered too small to bother with. Not one fell unseen. They are all in the bottle. They are all in the book. You are known by me, completely, specifically, permanently, not as part of a crowd, as you, the one I have been watching, the one I was present with in the car, the one I stayed beside through every private grief, the one whose name I know and whose face I know and whose tears I have kept. That is you. Here is what I want you to carry forward from this moment. You are not behind. You have not been abandoned. You have not been forgotten in some quiet corner when no one is looking. You have been held through the preparation. You are being moved into the breakthrough. The tears funded something. The waiting built something. The carrying alone strengthened something in you that is about to serve a purpose you cannot yet see. I do not waste the grief of the people I love. I redeem it. I take what pressed down on you and I make it the foundation of what I build through you. That is what I do. That is what I am doing. So go forward, beloved, not afraid, not bracing, not white-knuckling your way through each day. Go forward knowing I am ahead of you on the road, clearing what needs to be cleared. I am behind you, covering what you have left behind. I am beside you in every ordinary moment, every hard conversation, every waiting room, every morning when the weight tries to come back before your eyes are fully open. I am there. I am always there. You have never been alone. Not once. Not in the darkest night you have ever walked through. Not in the most silent season you have ever endured. Not in the smallest, most invisible moment of private grief. I was there. I am here. I love you with a love that will not run dry. A love that does not grow cold when you are struggling. A love that does not grow impatient with how long the healing is taking. A love that chose you, knowing everything. Chose you completely. Chose you permanently. Return to this whenever the noise gets loud. Return to this whenever the weight starts to climb back. Come back to my voice. Come back to this place where you know you are seen. Because you are seen. Always. By me. I want to speak one more thing to you before you go. The people around you, the ones who do not know what you have been carrying, they have not failed you entirely. Most of them were simply not equipped to hold what you were holding. Most of them were doing the best they knew how to do. Some of them were carrying their own things quietly, and they did not have the capacity to also hold yours. That is a true thing and a hard thing, and I want you to release the weight of the expectation that they should have done better. Forgive that quietly, not because they deserve it, because you deserve the freedom that comes from putting it down. Because unforgiveness is another form of carrying, and you are already carrying enough. Let go of that too. Give it to me. I am strong enough to hold it. I am wide enough to absorb every disappointment, every wound, every moment of being unseen by the people who were supposed to see you. Bring it all here, every bit of it. I want it. Not because I want you to suffer, but because I want you free. and the path to free runs straight through letting go. So let go, my child, right here, right now. Let go of what you were meant to give to me long ago. Let go of the grief. Let go of the weight. Let go of the belief that you have to carry any of it alone. I am here. I have always been here. I will always be here. You are mine, and I love you. I love you completely. I love you without condition. I love you without end. Go in my peace. Amen.